In Afghanistan, we're now joined by Konstantin Kosachev, head of the Russian State Duma Foreign Affairs Committee. Mr. Kosachev, thank you very much for joining us here on RT. Now, can I just ask you, what are your views on how the election has been run in Afghanistan? Do you think the security situation there has prevented it from being a fair vote, as some insinuate?
Well, the situation in Afghanistan is still very much tensed. Afghanistan continues to be a divided country in terms of ethnic division, in terms of political division, and clearly the ruling authorities do not control the situation all over the country. And the turnout was not that high as it was expected, but on the other hand, it was not that low to question the legitimacy of the elections. So I believe that it has been a very important step in the democratic development of Afghanistan. I hope that the outcome of this election, whatever it can be, will be accepted by all the competing parts. I do not believe that Mr. Karzai will win during the first round. We will need to have the second round, but I hope that the result of the first round will not be questioned by anybody and the competing parts will not start fighting each other again.
And how important would you say is the result and the process itself of these elections for Russia?
Well, we know perfectly well the leading candidates, both of them. Mr. Karzai, the previous years, has started to change his global policy, so to say. He is now more interested in having good relations with neighboring countries, the neighbors in the region, including Russia, and we do have a rather good dialogue on the peace settlement in Afghanistan, and this is a matter of major concern for Russia, of course. On the other hand, Mr. Abdullah is also a well-known politician for us here in Russia during his time as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and not the least because he was one of the supporters of Ahmad Shah Massoud, the leader of the Northern Alliance, during the years when the Northern Alliance was the only barrier between Afghanistan, controlled by Taliban, and Central Asia and Russia. So any candidate, any winner of this race will be acceptable for Russia, and we are ready to work with the future president of Afghanistan, whatsoever the name of this president will be.
Now, Mr. Kosachev, you mentioned there the Taliban, and of course they have been a key feature of this election, fueling instability and largely blamed for the low voter turnout. It's also insinuated that they are largely funded by drug trafficking. So do you think that we can expect a renewed effort to combat the drug trade by whoever wins this presidency?
Taliban is still a great problem for Afghanistan and for the surrounding world, but I believe that there is no other option but to have a political process in the country. I do not believe that anybody has a chance to win a victory over Taliban, so I believe in a negotiation process. I know that Mr. Karzai is more and more in favor of that political process. I believe that Mr. Abdullah is on the same position, and I believe that all the leading world countries like United States, the European Union, Russia should support that political process, because otherwise Afghanistan will continue to stay in chaos with all the bad, tragic consequences for the people of Afghanistan and for the neighboring countries.
Well, on that, we know that recently Moscow has agreed to allow the US to move military supplies to Afghanistan across Russian territory. So do you think that Russia could now take on a more active role in fighting the Taliban and the drugs trade?
Well, you know, the stability in Afghanistan is the major interest for Russia. In this sense, we will be ready to assist any efforts to create stability and order in Afghanistan, and this is why we have reached these agreements on military transit now with the United States, before that with Germany, Italy and Spain, and I hope that this contribution of Russia, not a military one, but still a very important contribution, will also be an important step towards the stabilization in the country.
these Afghanistan elections have serious repercussions for the region and for wider issues as well, clearly. Konstantin Kosachev, the Russian State Duma Foreign Affairs Committee head, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us here on RT.